Have you ever felt like you're constantly struggling against the current, surrounded by voices and influences that drain your energy more than they feed it? Right now, I want to invite you to take a pause and reflect. Who are the people around you? Do they lift you up or bring you down? Today, let's explore the ancient wisdom of the Stoics, delving into how choosing our companions and setting personal boundaries can significantly transform our journey through life. But before we continue, if you're seeking inspiration to live a fuller and more authentic life, consider subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications so you don't miss any of our insights. Stick with us until the end of this video to discover practical strategies that can be applied in your daily life, transforming not only how you interact with others, but also how you see and position yourself in the world. Eliminating toxic people from your life. Have you ever stopped to think about how much the people around us influence our lives? It often feels like we're in the midst of noise and pressure, where every little thing we do is closely analyzed. But there's a secret that can change everything: who we choose to be close to us. There are people who are like a calm river, helping us move forward smoothly, encouraging us to be better. But there are also those who are like a storm, bringing problems and confusion, and we end up getting lost along the way. The Stoics, ancient masters of living well, talked a lot about this. They emphasize the importance of self-control and finding peace amidst chaos. They prompt us to think, are the friendships we have helping us grow or pulling us down? Getting away from someone who only brings negativity isn't weakness, it's strength. It's choosing to surround ourselves with those who are truly worth it. It's like tending to a garden. Occasionally, we need to pull out some weeds so that everything looks truly beautiful. Of course, this isn't easy. We need to be honest with ourselves and think about what's truly important. But just imagine how freeing it must be to walk surrounded only by people who support you in an environment where you can breathe easy, away from judgments and negative vibes. So, how about reflecting on this? The voices you're hearing in your life, are they lifting you up or dragging you down? Getting rid of toxic friendships isn't just about caring for yourself. It's also about discovering your own strength and learning to navigate life in a calmer and more meaningful way. Remember, the people we choose to be close to us are fundamental pieces in our lives. So let's choose more carefully. This is the time to look around, think carefully, and make the changes that need to be made. Because, ultimately, the quality of our lives is defined by the company we keep. Are you ready for this choice? Establishing personal boundaries. Time is an increasingly valuable currency, and our energy a finite resource. Setting boundaries emerges not only as a survival strategy, but as a fundamental pillar for a fulfilling and authentic life. But what does it really mean to set personal boundaries? And more importantly, how does it help us navigate the complexities of modern life? Think of boundaries as the borders on a map, outlining the territory that is exclusively yours. Your time, your energy, your emotions. These boundaries are the invisible lines that help us define how far we're willing to go, what we're willing to accept, and where we need to say no. They are, at their essence, a declaration of self-respect and a recognition of our own worth. Without these clear boundaries, we become vulnerable to burnout, an increasingly common condition in a society that often glorifies the idea of being constantly busy. When we can't distinguish between others' demands and our own needs, we lose not only control over our lives, but also a crucial part of our identity. Establishing boundaries is, therefore, an act of balance, a delicate dance between giving and receiving. It's understanding that, to truly care for others, we need to be at our best, and that's only possible when we take care of ourselves. It's the art of saying no when necessary, not out of selfishness, but because we recognize that by preserving our well-being, we're actually cultivating a more fertile ground for all our relationships. But how do we establish these boundaries? It starts with self-awareness, with understanding what you truly value, what drains your energy, and what nourishes it. It's a continuous process of actively listening to your own needs and learning to communicate them clearly and assertively. Imagine, for a moment, the feeling of freedom when setting these boundaries, of having the power to choose how, with whom, and in what you invest your time and energy. Envision the peace of mind that comes with the certainty of living a life aligned with your deepest values. Now, I invite you to reflect. What boundaries do you need to establish in your life to protect your time, your energy, and your mental health? Remember, setting boundaries isn't a barrier to keep people away, but a bridge to more authentic and meaningful relationships. So, how about we start drawing these boundaries today? Because in the end, the quality of your life isn't measured by the number of tasks you accomplish, but by the quality of the experiences you choose to live. Are you ready to take the reins and define the boundaries that will guide your journey? Not loving too much, You know, when we talk about love, that feeling everyone wants to feel and experience? Well, love is a very beautiful thing, but there's a special way to live it that makes all the difference. The Stoics, a group of thinkers from antiquity, had some really cool ideas about this. They said that we can love a lot, yes, but in a way that leaves everyone free without suffocating or holding anyone back. Thinking about love this way is like letting a bird fly. If we hold it too tightly, it can't be itself, it can't fly. But if we take care of it with tenderness and let it be free, it's happy and so are we. True love, the kind the Stoics talked about, is the one that gives wings, that allows the person to be who they are, without constraints. Loving with freedom doesn't mean we love less. It's quite the opposite. It's loving in a smarter way, choosing to be together because we want to, not because we need to. It's understanding that each of us is already complete on our own, but we choose to share that completeness with someone else without dependencies. This kind of love accepts that things change, that not everything lasts forever. But instead of being sad about it, we learn to cherish every moment, knowing that each moment together is a gift. And even if things change one day, the love that was lived leaves a good mark, a little light that never goes out. Just imagine how amazing it is to love like this with an open heart, but without losing who we are. The Stoics wanted us to learn this, to love a lot, but in a way that keeps us firm and at peace inside. So, how about we try to live love this way, choosing to be with someone not to fill a hole, but to add, to make each other's life even more beautiful. That's the invitation for today, to love in a way that liberates, that feels good, that makes us feel more alive and happy. Shall we try? Expressing feelings and opinions with caution. In a world where every word has the power to build or destroy, to unite or divide, the art of expressing feelings and opinions with caution emerges as a beacon of wisdom. Imagine for a moment that our words are like the waters of a river. They flow with strength and determination, but also with the ability to adapt, to navigate obstacles with grace and resilience. In this context, Stoic philosophy offers us a map, a compass to navigate the sometimes turbulent waters of human communication. The Stoics, with their proverbial serenity, teach us that control over our thoughts and reactions is not just an act of self-discipline, but also a gift of freedom. Imagine being able to choose, with full awareness, the response you wish to give in any situation, rather than being swept away by raw emotions and instinctive reactions. This is the promise of Stoic philosophy, the freedom to respond with wisdom and consideration. Now, why is it so crucial to moderate how we express our feelings and opinions? We live in an era of instant connections, where every thought can be shared with the world in a matter of seconds. The speed at which we communicate should not outweigh the depth and quality of our interactions. By choosing our words carefully, we avoid misunderstandings, unnecessary conflicts, and above all, we preserve valuable relationships. Furthermore, by practicing inner calmness and seeking to understand before being understood, we become beacons of empathy and understanding in our communities. The ability to truly listen, to embrace others' perspectives even when they diverge from our own, is an act of courage and generosity. And here, my friends, lies true strength. Let's exemplify with a common situation. You strongly disagree with a friend's opinion on a certain matter. The Stoic approach doesn't prevent us from expressing our disagreement. On the contrary, it invites us to do so with respect, seeking points of connection and mutual understanding. Instead of starting an ego battle, we turn the conversation into a bridge for growth and shared learning. Finally, by adopting this philosophy of life, we discover that true communication goes far beyond the exchange of words. It is rooted in authenticity, vulnerability, and the courage to show ourselves as we truly are, with our doubts, our hopes, and our dreams. And in doing so, we not only find our own voice, but also invite others to find theirs. Therefore, may we choose our words with the same care that a gardener dedicates to their plants. May we be patient, compassionate, and deliberate. May our communication be a source of light, not shadows. And as we walk this path, may we discover not only the art of speaking, but the sublime art of living. If this video is bringing any value to you, don't hesitate to comment.
Thank you.
Because when we are grateful, all things work together for our good, our prosperity, and abundance. So, go ahead and leave that comment and like so that this content can change more lives. Let's continue. Selective compassion. Compassion is like a ray of light that warms and illuminates, showing that we care for each other. But even this light needs to be directed wisely so as not to be lost in the vastness of the night sky.
The idea of selective compassion is like using a flashlight instead of turning on all the lights in the house. You focus where it's really needed, where you can make a difference. Think of it this way. The world is full of problems and pains, more than any one of us can solve alone.
It's like being in a small boat in the middle of a rough ocean, trying to rescue those adrift. If we try to save everyone at once, we risk sinking under the weight. Selective compassion teaches us to recognize where we can lend a hand without putting ourselves at risk, keeping the boat stable while helping others. This form of compassion tells us that it's okay to admit that we can't be everywhere at once. It's not about turning our backs on the world's difficulties, but rather about choosing our battles wisely. If a friend needs us, we can be there for them because it's a situation where our presence makes a real difference. But when it comes to larger problems beyond our reach, we do what we can, perhaps helping from afar, without getting lost in the attempt to embrace the world. Maintaining this balance also means taking care of ourselves. We can't give others what we don't have. If we exhaust all our energy trying to fix everything and everyone, we'll end up with nothing to offer. It's as if, by trying to light the way for everyone, we end up in the dark ourselves. So, if you come across a situation where someone needs help, and you can do something, go ahead. Your heart and actions can make all the difference. But if it's something beyond your control, do what you can without blaming yourself for not doing more. Sometimes the greatest help we can offer is being okay ourselves, so that when someone needs us, we're ready and able to lend a hand. Selective compassion is, ultimately, about being smart with our care and affection. It's choosing where we can truly be a positive force, ensuring that we remain strong and healthy enough to make a difference in the long run. And remembering that by taking good care of this light we have to offer, we ensure that it continues to shine brightly for those in need. Prioritizing yourself and being direct. At the heart of Stoicism, we find a powerful call for authenticity and the value of taking care of ourselves. It's a simple yet revolutionary idea. Putting yourself first is not an act of selfishness, but a fundamental step towards becoming the best version of yourself. And why? Because when we are well, strengthened, and balanced, we are much more capable of reaching out to others. Let's simplify. Imagine you're like a glass of water. If the glass is empty, how can you offer water to someone else? First, you need to fill your own glass. That's taking care of yourself. It's ensuring that you are mentally, emotionally, and physically prepared to face the challenges of daily life and to help those around you. It's not about always putting yourself ahead of others, but rather ensuring that you're not always putting yourself last. Being authentic and honest in your interactions is another pillar of this approach. Speaking the truth and being who you truly are may seem daunting. After all, what if others don't like it? But the truth is that honesty creates deeper and more meaningful connections. When you are true to yourself and to others, you build relationships based on trust and mutual respect. And that is the foundation for any healthy relationship. So, how do you put this into practice? It starts with small daily choices. Saying no when something truly doesn't align with your values or when you simply don't have the energy to give. Allowing yourself moments of rest without feeling guilty. And when interacting with others, choosing honesty, even if it means having difficult conversations. By making these practices a habit, you will not only be taking better care of yourself, but also creating an environment where others feel encouraged to do the same. It's a domino effect of positivity, where everyone benefits. Remembering that you are important and that your health and well-being are fundamental is not selfishness. It's wisdom. It's the foundation from which you can build a rich and meaningful life, not just for yourself, but also for those around you. And that, my friends, is one of the most valuable lessons Stoicism has to teach us. Embracing adversity and finding strength in challenges. Embracing adversity and finding strength in challenges is a powerful idea that invites us to see life in a different way. We know that life is not a bed of roses. It comes with its share of storms and mountains to climb. However, it is precisely in facing these obstacles that we find our greatest lessons and opportunities to grow. Think about it. Each challenge that arises is like a unique test for our inner strength and our ability to adapt. When a problem appears in front of us, we have two choices: to retreat and feel defeated or to face it head-on, using it as a springboard for our personal development. Stoic philosophy, rich in ancient wisdom, encourages us to choose the latter option. Imagine for a moment that each difficulty is a question that life asks us. What can you learn from this? By embracing our problems with this mindset, we transform obstacles into opportunities. Every adversity becomes a moment of learning, every challenge a chance to demonstrate our resilience. But how do we do this in practice? It starts with acceptance. Accepting that life will have challenges is the first step to overcoming them. This does not mean liking or wishing for these situations, but rather recognizing that they are a part of our journey. Then we seek the lessons. Every challenge has something to teach us, whether about ourselves or about the world around us. Furthermore, embracing adversity allows us to strengthen our emotional control. When we face challenges head on, we learn to manage our emotions, not letting fear or frustration dominate us. This emotional control is a powerful tool, not only for overcoming present difficulties, but also for preparing us for future unforeseen events. Finally, thriving in the face of adversity is a demonstration of strength and determination. Each time we overcome a challenge, we build a stronger version of ourselves, more prepared to face whatever comes our way. It's as if each problem solved adds a piece to the mosaic of our resilience, making it more complete with each passing obstacle. In summary, embracing adversity and finding strength in challenges is a powerful way to live life. It transforms fear into courage, uncertainty into opportunity, and suffering into strength. It is an invitation to look within ourselves, recognize our capacity for resilience, and move forward with confidence, knowing that, ultimately, we are capable of facing anything that life throws our way. Living in the present with fullness. Living in the present with fullness is a transformative journey towards the heart of what really matters in life. The Stoic philosophy, with its ancient wisdom, illuminates this path, teaching us to anchor our experiences in the current moment. After all, life happens now, where each breath is a new beginning and each moment is an opportunity to be fully lived. Often, our minds get lost in the labyrinths of past memories or in dreams anxious for the future, distancing us from the richness of the present moment. However, by practicing the experience of the present, we learn to free ourselves from these shackles, focusing our attention and energy on actions and thoughts that are truly within our reach. Imagine for a moment the power of really being where you are, of fully feeling every sensation, of being completely engaged in every task, no matter how simple. This not only enriches our life experience, but also makes us more effective and focused, allowing us to embrace joys and face challenges with a renewed presence of mind. But how can we cultivate this ability to live in the present with fullness? It begins with awareness, the simple act of noticing when our thoughts take us away from the now. Each time we notice this drift gently without judgment, we bring our attention back to the moment, whether by focusing on our breath, physical sensations, or the task at hand. This practice of returning to the present can be strengthened through meditation, mindfulness, or even activities that require focus and total engagement. And as this skill grows, so does our appreciation for life. Suddenly, the little things begin to shine with a new light, moments of connection with others become richer, and even challenges seem less intimidating because we are equipped with the clarity and calmness that only presence can provide. Living in the present with fullness is ultimately an act of self-love and respect for life. By choosing to fully inhabit each moment, we not only improve our own existence, but also enrich the lives of those around us. Each moment becomes a celebration, an act of gratitude for the miracle of being alive, here and now. So let us all strive to live in the present with our whole hearts, remembering that each moment is precious and irreplaceable. May we find joy in simplicity, strength in presence, and depth in everyday experience. And may, by doing so, we discover the true fullness that comes from being truly present in the vibrant tapestry of life. Gratitude practice. Have you ever wondered why, in moments of silence, when the dust of everyday life settles, we feel a kind of inner calm? It's in that instant that gratitude, almost like a gentle breeze, stealthily enters our lives. It's not a new concept, nor revolutionary. In fact, it's as old as the Stoic thinkers themselves, who, with their lives focused on self-awareness and virtue, taught us the immeasurable power of appreciating what we have. Gratitude isn't just about saying thank you. It goes much further. It's about recognizing the incalculable value of the little things, of the people who cross our paths, of the experiences that, however challenging they may be, always have something to teach us. Imagine for a moment that every difficult situation is actually a disguised teacher, bringing valuable lessons for our growth. And why is this so powerful? Because it changes the way we see the world. It turns barriers into steps, problems into opportunities. Gratitude takes us out of the relentless pursuit of more of the new, of the extraordinary, and puts us in a state of contentment with what is, with the now.
Yeah, life throws those curvy balls at us. And that's where a really cool idea from the Stoics comes in, a group from ancient times who had some pretty neat ideas about how to navigate life.
They talked about the importance of being flexible and adapting to life's twists and turns. Basically, what they meant is that we can't control everything that happens around us, but we can decide how we're going to react to those things. Let's be honest, there's a lot that's out of our control, right? But how we deal with those situations, well, that's up to us. Being flexible and adaptable is like being bamboo that bends with the wind but doesn't break. When life throws a challenge our way, we learn to dance to the music instead of standing still, complaining that it's not the tune we wanted to hear. This not only helps us get through tough times more calmly, but also makes us see these rough patches as opportunities to grow and become stronger. Imagine that every problem is like a surprise workout that life gives you. At first, it might be tough, but over time, you become more prepared, smarter. And it's not just that. Being someone who adapts easily allows us to see things from a positive perspective, even when everything seems to be going downhill. So, the next time something doesn't go as planned, try to channel your inner Stoic. Take a deep breath, see what you can do with what you have at hand, and keep moving forward. Remember, it's not about what happens to you, but how you react to what happens. It might not change the situation right away, but it'll surely make you feel a bit better and, who knows, maybe even lead you to a solution you hadn't thought of before. Being flexible and adaptable is a superpower nowadays. So let's practice this idea and become the kind of person who faces life's twists and turns head on, ready for whatever comes our way. If this dive into Stoic wisdom has inspired you, subscribe to the channel and click on one of the videos on the screen to continue your journey of self-discovery. Transform your life, start now.